Hello, this is Gerald Johan van Was, and with some demonstration of the yin and yang balance of the colors yellow and green. As an introduction to a second video that will come after this, I will explain the background of the theory and where the colors of yellow and green are into a yin and yang balance of colors. How they exist like that. This is part of what was introduced in the 7 color wheels, the foundation for the yin and yang of colors. And of course this video will be about the perspective from the theory itself, what the positions are for yellow and green as colors of attraction. Everybody knows what is yin and yang, or more or less. And so let's say it's going towards the light, going towards the materialization processes. This is a balance, which is a description to in between the yeses and nos, let's say, systems that exist in everything that is appearing and disappearing, and trying to find a balance. And the yellow and the green as within the system of the yin and yang and of balance have a specific place. The yang, which is folding itself when it's maximalized in its realizations of getting towards the light, that's the maximizing of yang. The direction of which yang, or the light, is turning into reality is not steered by yellow, but it's steered by blue. I'll explain that soon. The materialization process itself has its maximum peak with green, as it is happening in nature as well, and with the yellow as you see it and associated with the sun, the maximalized light in reality. But the materialization process in practical sense is guided by the color red. That's the steering practical part of yin. The maximizing of yang, or the full color vision of the white, let's say, is getting the best out of the light without doing anything. It's just growing and growing on its own, and it's not crossing the line of participating deliberately in it. It's just following what's happening. You can't do that forever. If you don't do that forever, you will not become practical and so on. So other things cannot become practical. This is the growing of the sun, and all is its light, and at a certain point it has to find places where it can distribute its energy, and that's the practical part that comes out of it. The same with the maximalizing of the green part. It's a maximalizing of the materialization. It wants to get the best out of it as within its own activity, within its own nature. It is materializing on its own, simply as that. If it wants to go further than that and wants to participate, adapt and so on, it will come into the red zone. So that makes a jump from the plant world, where everything goes fluently, to the animal world, where there will be more interactions done and interactions in the processes. So this will be about yellow and green and its parts, in which we already know There's one direction towards the light, where the elements also are losing its cohesion, or losing its cohesion in a materializing sense. It is then it's a different process that is not connecting closer, but connecting brighter, lighter, and so on. The connecting elements towards the dark part or the materializing part is forced towards that is forcing yourself towards that direction once that path has been taken. There's a lot of psychology involved in how we react to colors, how we react to these positions. It's not so much different as what I will be expressing with letters. There's also a law of attraction and a law of direction, and a moment where you have to do something. You don't have to do anything yet. There's only two directions. You go towards the light or you go towards the materialization. The guiding processes that makes it a reality, so that the materialization process really is started rationally, because it has to seek the elements out which work and which does not work before trying them out. On the other side, the going towards the light, where everything is not getting stronger connections, but is losing up a little bit more, and having free elements available again. This is felt emotionally, just the way as materials come free, the flowers come to bloom, the emotions come free. It's felt emotionally. It's also felt in the infrared region, but that's another. That's also described in my book. That's not what I'm going to say today. And when we see these colors as attractions, which most of my book is about these color attractions. So if you see yellow as the spontaneous development, you can also see that as how we perceive that. And I feel attracted to it. That it's all getting lighter. It's spontaneously getting lighter, so it feels good. We still should be sensible enough to also cross that line and realize what must be done to become real and a reality, because the light is not going to be brighter every day after day. You have to do something to make it adapt. The same thing with the spontaneous development of the green light, which we can also see psychologically as an attraction, as a color attraction. Also there we have to sense after that what will become available after that, which processes are not developing spontaneously but have some leftovers. If it's completely getting more materialized, then of course it will have the color black, but that I will tell later. Anyhow, there is a balance that can guide the color attractions, which are guided by a rational process and an emotional process, the spontaneous process, which gets you towards the light or gets you towards reality. Yellow will maximize its whole, or will maximize the expression of all the connections that go towards the lightness, and green will show the maximizing of the connections towards the materialization processes. And between the coming towards yellow, now I'm narrowing it down from the yin and yang to the yin and yang smaller proportion, so I go towards then the brightening of the light. So that what will happen there, all processes that are free will be maximalized, so there will be the maximizing of all the energy. It will be at its max. It will be in the summer of everything. The negative side will be if we do that too long, if we feel this attraction towards the yellow spontaneous development of the light, it will also automatically attach itself to the light itself without stopping to do so or without doing the next step. Doesn't matter at that point, it is maximizing the process by attaching it towards the light. In a few moments I will tell you how it can be a negative thing as well. The green part of the nature will minimize all of its process so that it can attach itself to matter also most easily. Just the opposite also as its yin and yang. So the negative side will be if we do that too long, if we are attracted towards the light, it all feels so incredibly light, it feels so good, it feels so positive, I'm so optimistic, I laugh all the time, and the people are laughing towards me. They are also saying that everything is positive, and we are into the positivism to the top. This light seems to get brighter, but it is actually only theorizing or idealizing. And this light is an essence which only was a passive essence, because it went automatically, it's getting brighter and brighter until a certain moment. At the moment where the theory is at its maximum point of perfection, the ideal is perfectly expressed, and the light has its conditions where everything works as it should be according to the theory. But light will not continue to become brighter, but it can become stronger, but it can only become stronger by reflection. It will come to reflect itself, but the reflection can be in two ways. You can either find a way where this light will brighten up not just your mood emotionally, but also brightening up your ideas, that you get more ideas, that you get more practical ideas from it. It is attaching itself to the practicality of things. The brightness will have its cause and effect, and it can become a force and will allow it to shine in the practical parts alone. So that's the part where the light is dimming, but the force is not dimming. And that's a force of yin and yang that will always happen. If that doesn't happen, that you find the attachments, which you don't have to loosen again, look more and more, and attach yourself from the world and attach yourself from the negative. No, in this case you have to attach yourself, but to a point and to a way that it can become practical and that you can learn something rational from it. So you have to think and you have to do things to make the idealization practical. If you don't do that, the yin and yang balance seeking process will continue anyhow, and instead of brightening up the light in the practicality, it will dim and give a smoke screen, and it will attract itself to the darkening of the light, the smoky parts, the unneeded parts at the other end. So these two parts of the light ideal and theory and the unneeded parts are also reflected in the Book of the Tibetan Dead, where it is explained as the hells. The light hell, the white hell is expressed as the hell where you can see the angels and that's one of the hells, because nothing will come out of it, and it will also attract the opposite, the hell of the smoky hell figures, or all the emotions that are really not done anything with it, that are really having a destructive way of materializing themselves into your reality. So it will, the light, the process of the light, there's no other way. Not everything has to be broadened up, opened up forever. Once you have all the elements available and you see what your idealization is, then you have to learn to do something with it. You can't spread out everything forever as if nothing will become a big nothing in the end. That is not going to happen. The same thing with the materialization process. At a certain point where the plant can have the maximalized form of what it can take out of the process, it will still, the process itself could still attach itself to matter further, and that will lead, instead of the lightness and of the life of what really works within the plants, it will attach itself to matter in a way, like for instance carbon is materializing itself further into a black color. The materialization itself without the life support will simply be black. But still after that, so even if you, okay, let's use the smoke here to make a fire. The earth, the material will glow. There will come some new materials out of it. There will come even some, after a while, some minerals out of it, materials out of it. These materials will be separated elements, but these elements that become loose will also be available as a kind of manure that you can use to let grow something new emotionally. When you exaggerate the collecting of all the elements and you see that these elements really crystallize into further elements, you get to the world of the minerals, and the minerals are expressed by the color of purple, so you have a place for that as well. The attachment to the materializing loose elements that have no connections at all are very well a symbol for how we are attracted towards the materialization process around us, in richness, in material, in luxury, and so on. But it could be spiritual as well. All these things that we think that are important, and we collect them together. I have more, are purple. They are also a symbol for mankind. The counterbalance, and that's almost the last thing I'm going to say, the counterbalance for that is that it will of course be attracted to the other side, that the elements should not get everything more tied together so that you don't know what to do. There's no life in it. It should be attracted again into and brought into the system. The opposite color in every color theory of purple is of course yellow, and we are back attracted to the yellow light, go back into the system to friendly attractions of what we think, okay, that seems attractive. And this will attract again the connections and will loosen them up again. So the yellow part will separate what will be made useful at some day. Rationally, we always take in what to see, like, okay, what will we try to connect? When we connect and attach these things to what is really needed, we will mix the yellow and green, yellow and blue, and come to the green. And when the elements that we can't use come out the opposite of green, red, we can take out separate elements again and start anew the whole process. So every time when you have a new cycle starting, at the end of the cycle we have the materialized product, which I here present as purple, and have lots of maybe ideas, and we have some it's all ours, let's say, at that point, and it's best that we put it back into the system, put it back into the society, so that everything that we have could become useful in a different way. In that moment we have the decision to either exaggerate and over idealize everything what we have, or even say like what you can do with it, or make it even more practical and really start the whole process anew. The last thing I was going to say is I'm a bit annoyed in the last chapter of my book of the colors that I had almost like a synesthesia way compared letters with the positions of this yin yang in the system. It's not really needed to mix the letters and colors completely. It's a completely different system, but some of the letters will appear more often because they also have a comparable balance, and that's what it is about. So this is about this comparable balance. The E is the new element, which in that way can easily be put in the yellow part. The elements which are in development can be in the bright blue part in the winter section, so you have the summer and winter even there. What is to be taken out that maybe I can use it, I can do something with it, it's then the A. What you put into the system again, or even over idealize it if you don't if you're not careful, it's then the O. And the real materialization process, it's very easily associated with A. Is that then the norm? I wouldn't say so, but in the next video I will have the ideas that are in these positions and the decision-making moment from in the yin and yang process, where this should be recognizable in also the naming of all the colors. The names of the colors, yellow and green, for instance, will then be recognizable, or is it just about, can you use these things there, or where do I see that in the frequencies? What will be named? I don't know yet, but it will be, because I didn't make the video yet. The solution will be in the next video, why yellow is named as yellow or as geel, and why green is named as green and not something else. Does it fit with that kind of pattern in the system? Of course it will. I already had another video where I had the French word for green, vert. You can look that up in my list if you want. Anyhow, the video of this day was dedicated to the 7-color wheels foundation for the yin and yang of colors, which is also available in a bit oversized book. I wanted to have it smaller, but okay, they printed it bigger than I wanted, but it is available in a thin and in a thick cover if you would like to read it. The reading is mostly about the perspective as seen from the Tibetan Book of the Dead of how we are attracted to colors and the consequences of these attractions to the bright colors, or when we go too fast or too slow, what happens and what are the consequences if you follow it up well or don't follow it up well, and wants to force these attractions a little bit. What will be the consequences of that is explained in this book mostly, and okay, some associations with the spine and a few other things as well. But just check it out if you like. Thanks again for watching. Bye bye.